Hi, welcome to Solving Systems by Substitution. This is going to be a pretty nice lesson today on really 5 pretty simple steps. And if you will walk through these steps one at a time, this is going to be a great lesson and you will be highly successful. So let's start by getting your name on there and finding out what it is that we're trying to actually find. When you solve a system, what we're saying is that we have 2 equations and we want to know where they cross, where they intersect. And that point where they intersect is called the solution. And there's a handful of different ways that you can solve a system. And the one that we're going to be using today is called the substitution method. So let's write on the top of your paper what our goal is for today and what we're trying to accomplish. So we are going to find out where 2 equations of lines intersect. The solution is that point of intersection. We'll use the substitution method. All right, so I mentioned that there are 5 steps to do this, and we need to write down our 5 steps. So let's use this bottom right corner of your paper to do that. Here on the left, we've got number 3. So about halfway across your paper, here on the second equation, about halfway across your paper. And down. Just for clarity of why am I writing over there? All right, steps for substitution. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to look for one of our equations to be already solved for a variable. That's where we want to start. One of those equations already has a letter. I don't care if it is x or if it is y. It is solved for a letter. It is all alone already on one side of the equal sign by itself. The second step is that you are going to plug this equation from step 1 into the other equation for that variable. Now, if that doesn't make sense right now, that's okay, because I am going to show you step by step exactly what that means. But do make sure you have these steps written down. It's a great reference to go back to. All right, third step. So now we have this weird looking new equation in step 2. We are going to solve that equation for its variable, and you should get a number answer when you're done. This number answer is half of your total answer, and it means really you've gotten the hard parts done. You're like heading into the home stretch. So this number answer that you got in step 3, you are going to plug that back into your equation from step 1 for its variable, and then solve that equation and get another number answer. This is the other half of your final answer. Now, when you cook, when you build, if you wrap, if you create some product, you have to be able to say, now I'm finished. And other people have to be able to look at it and say, aha, yep, they've done all of the work, they've put it together, there's your final answer. So let's get our final answer. We've done all of the work. We just have to write it as a coordinate point. And then you're done. This might be a great set of problems to work through if you have colors, just to help you be able to see and think a little bit easier. Not required, just something to think about. Let's go do exercise 1. All right, in exercise 1, step 1 says find the equation that is solved for a variable. Well, this first equation has x all alone on the left as we get started. That's great. So we found it. Step 2 says plug the step 1 equation into the other equation for its solved variable. All right, so let's circle up what's on the right. And this is an x equals. So I am going to replace the x in the other equation. Okay? So let's write that. It is now y minus 3y equals 4. So I have substituted it in. This y replaces that x. Step 3. Go solve that equation for its variable. Get something. Okay, so 1y minus 3y's is negative 2y. Divide by negative 2. What you do on one side of the river, you do to the other. And as a result, y equals 4 divided by negative 2 is -2. Done. That was step 3. Step 4, we're going to take this solved answer and plug it into my equation from step 1 for its variable. So let's rewrite my equation from step 1 was x equals y, and this -2 is going to replace that y, which creates in turn x equals -2 for this problem. Hey, we've done all of the hard work, all of it. Let's just finish this off. So my coordinate point is always x and then y. My x value is a -2, my y value is a -2, and this is my final answer. Done. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't bad at all. Let's go check out exercise 3. All right, exact same problem steps. So step 1 says find the equation that is solved for a variable. Is my first equation solved for a variable? No, I have x and y both on the left side of the equal sign. But my second equation is solved for y. It is on the left side by itself. So that means that all of this equation, step 2 of our steps, says plug this step 1 equation into the other equation for that variable. So all of this is all equal to y. So all of this is going to replace that y. So let's write that down. 4x minus. Now there's a lot in here, so we have to use parentheses. -1/2 x plus 2. So that is the y that just got replaced. Close your parentheses, equals -11. Okay. Step 3, solve this equation for the one variable that's in it. All right. Let's distribute the negative through the parentheses. 4x plus 1/2 x minus 2 equals -11. So all I've done is a negative times a negative is this positive, and a negative times a positive is a negative. We need to get x alone. So let's start by getting rid of the 2. How do you get rid of this 2? Yeah, add it to the other side. What you do on one side of the river, do to the other. Use the opposite sign. So now I have 4x plus 1/2 of an x equals, what is -11 plus 2? Yes, it is -9. Now, this is where a lot of people get very uncomfortable, and I want to help you through this. So 4x's plus 1/2 x. If you will get out your calculator and turn it on, let's go to a new document, never save. And we're going to add a calculator. So this app will add the fractions for you very nice and neatly. If you push 4 plus And then that fraction of 1/2, so if you push Control and then divide, hey, a fraction showed up, and you can fill in the boxes. 1, arrow down, 2, 4 plus 1/2. Push Enter, 9/2. Wasn't that great? You didn't have to stress at all. You have a tool that is ready to help you, so let's use it so that you can be more successful. So here, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 9/2 to get rid of it. Remember that word, reciprocal? What does reciprocal mean? Flip it over. That's right. So 9/2 flipped over is 2/9. And what we do on one side, we do to the other. 2/9. So here again, if you're like, I'm not feeling this, multiplying fractions, anything with a fraction, I'm just not feeling it, that's fine. Let's get out your calculator again, and let's help you. So parentheses, -9. Another set of parentheses, because I've closed that out. Remember how we got that fraction? Control, divide. There's that fraction, 2/9. Wow, -2, isn't that great? That's just a great tool that calculator has programmed into it for you. And there's X. Ta-da! Hard part is done. Like done. So now let's do step 4. Step 3 was real long for this problem, but it's okay. We've done the hard part. So step 4, let's go grab our equation from step 1. We will rewrite it. Y equals -1/2 x plus 2. We're going to take our x value and plug it in right there. Whoops. Rule and markers. So y equals -1/2 times -2 plus 2. So again, if you're stressed, pull out your calculator. You can multiply that. You can add that all in there. We'll do it together. Excuse me. So parentheses, control divide, -1/2. Make sure that you arrow to the right so that your blinker is up full size. Parentheses, -2. Close your parentheses. Plus 2. Push enter. What do you get? 3. Nice. So y equals 3. Final answer. X and y. My x was a -2. My y was a 3. Done. Not bad. Okay, you're going to try to do number 2. So pause the video, come and talk to me if you need some help. I'd be very happy to help you.